story now. Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula is expected to release a report into the horror Pongola crash. 20 people, including 19 children between the ages of 5 and 12, were killed there. Dashcam footage shows a speeding truck crashing into the bakkie carrying school pupils. The eNCA reporter Lethiwe Mdluli is watching this and joins us this morning. Good morning, Lethiwe. A very important report that we're all awaiting as to what exactly happened that day. I mean, that footage is so disturbing. What are we expecting today?
Well, Mfundo, we do understand that the Transport Minister, Fikile Mbalula, is going to make his way to Pongola today, where he will be releasing that accident report. You'd remember that last week, Friday, 20 people, including children, lost their lives in that fatal accident. And we are expecting for the Minister to make his way to the center today, where he will receive a briefing first, and then he will then proceed to the accident scene, where he will be then interacting with his delegation. And that is where he's expected to release that accident report. We are also expecting for him to visit one of the affected schools where the pupils were attending. We are also expecting for Mbalula to actually visit the families that were affected, that lost their loved ones. So that is the plan that we have been told, that he's going to be visiting these places today. But of course, the much awaited accident report that we're expecting from him, where he will be releasing details as to what happened during that time on Friday. But what we do know currently right now is that they will also be releasing some plans that they have to release some of the pressure on the N2 here in Pongola, because we do know that the community has been for years asking for the transport department to get involved in trying to help alleviate some of the pressure that the trucks have on the N2. We do know some of the residents here in Pongola wrote to the Transport Minister for years on social media, asking him to intervene on this issue. They were saying for years that the N2 stretch, especially here in Pongola, was not safe, especially because there are a lot of schools that are surrounding the road. They have been asking for the Transport Minister to intervene for years, but unfortunately none of that has happened. So we will get a chance also to ask him why it took him so long for him to respond to some of the concerns from the residents, because they've been very vocal about how unsafe this road has been for children and also the residents of Pongola.
How have they honestly been coping? Because a loss of 19 school children, 20 lives in total, is honestly very horrific and would really shatter a community. How are they doing? How are they supporting those that lost their children?
Well, Mfundo, we do know from the local government here in KZN who have been here for the past week that they are saying they will help the families of those that lost their loved ones in terms of planning for funerals and also just having some interventions. They are currently holding talks with those families. But of course, my colleague Dason Tathia was here for the past week, where he was interacting with families. We do know that a lot of families lost their loved ones. There is one mother who lost 3 of her children, and of course those families are devastated. We will also get a chance to speak to them as well and find out how they are responding to some of the interventions that government is going to be making or announcing today. But of course families are devastated about what happened, and we will be visiting those families along with the delegation with Mbalula. We're also going to be speaking to the school as well, because we do know that the school and also the families are currently receiving psychosocial support from the delegation here in KZN, who has been here for the past week. We do also know that the acting premier, Nomagugusemalana Zulu, has announced that they want to have talks with the transport minister today in regards to interventions on the N2. They are talking about making that road a bit bigger to accommodate some of the trucks that use this road. But of course, the community, shortly after that accident, was saying that they do not want any trucks on that road, especially because there are no traffic lights. They've been asking for traffic lights for years now, but unfortunately the government failed to intervene or make any plans to install those traffic lights that the community has been wanting for the longest time. So we will be speaking to them about some of those interventions, why it took them so long to respond to some of the concerns from the community.
Until so many lives were lost. We'll honestly catch up with you a bit later on once that briefing does get underway. That was eNCA reporter Lethiwe Mdluli. More news on the other side.